Hi, it's Janie. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is my makeup or breakup review of Estee Lauder and Elizabeth Arden basket. If you're new to my channel, every 2 weeks I'm going through my stash, pulling out a particular brand of cosmetics, wearing those for 2 weeks, and then after the 2 weeks I do a video where I do a review and decide if I'm going to make up with the products and keep them in my collection, or if I'm going to be breaking up with them and sending them on their way, either by selling or giving away or tossing if they're no longer any good. So without further ado, let's get started. And I want to talk about a little bit about the star of my makeup basket. And this really kind of surprised me because I wasn't really familiar with this brand. I had an eyeshadow, one eyeshadow from them years and years and years ago, and it was this one right here, and I'm talking about Elizabeth Arden. And this is the one that I had in the color Vintage number 10, which is kind of like a really soft grayish plum color right there. But back in January, I had on vacation, we were in Vegas, and I stumbled across a cosmetic store that's similar to the CCO. I don't remember what the name of it was. I don't. But anyway, they had in there products from Elizabeth Arden and a whole bunch of different perfumes. I'm going to assume it was whatever company owns Elizabeth Arden, or maybe Elizabeth Arden owned everything that was in there. I don't know, because I'm not very familiar with Elizabeth Arden. But anyway, they were running a special where just about everything in that line was half off. So I picked up some eyeshadows because I thought, well, I don't have any Elizabeth Arden other than that one eyeshadow, so I'm going to give them a try. And I tell you what, I have really, really, really enjoyed my Elizabeth Arden eyeshadows this past 2 weeks. That is what I'm wearing today, is Elizabeth Arden eyeshadows, and I'll show you what colors those are. All over my eyelid I have this one here, which is called Limelight number 16, and these are all called the Color Intrigue eyeshadows. And that is that color there. Don't know why I'm swatching, because you can see it on my eyes. In the crease, I have Siren number 17, and it's just a little bit of a moss colored green. I have that in my crease. And then on the outer edge, the outer V, I have this eyeshadow from this little duo here, which is called Golden Moss. I have this eyeshadow here on the outer V of it. And I tell you what, I have worn these three colors, this eye combination, probably like 3 or 4 times in the last 2 weeks. I just really enjoy the formulation of Elizabeth Arden, and I was very surprised because, you know, I always see that counter at Dillard's and I always just walk on by. I might every once in a while stop and look at what their gift with purchases or their purchase with purchases, but then I think, well, I don't know anything about it, so I'm just going to go ahead and go and not get anything. But the quality of these were very good. Now, they're not highly pigmented, but you can build them up, which I do like that, because for someone like me who's not very good at putting on eyeshadows and getting them blended, less is more for me, and it was easier for me to keep applying and then keep building it up, and then blending them all together. And they blended beautifully without blending away, if you know. And then the other one that I really liked was in this little trio that I got, and this was the Violet Plum, and it was this color right here, this little this little violet color. I wore this a lot in the outer V to kind of darken up my outer edge of my eye, and the ones that I used that with was from, here it is, Estee Lauder, which was this color right here. This was really pretty in the crease. Now this was a limited edition. This was a few years ago. I don't know how long ago it's been that I've had this, but I guess what I'm saying is if you've not tried Elizabeth Arden, don't bypass it, even though this is Estee Lauder, but you know, maybe stop and buy an eyeshadow or two and just give them a try, because I was very, very, very pleased with the quality and the blendability of the eyeshadows. They stay on beautiful. I don't have any problems with them fading or creping or creasing, which I do wear an eye primer, always wear eye primer. But I did enjoy my Elizabeth Arden very much. This was the other one that I had. So, and like I said, I bought these at like a cosmetic outlet store type place that was at an outlet mall in Vegas. So I'm not for sure if any of these are still available. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Estee or the Elizabeth Arden counter at all. So anyway, now let's talk about some Estee Lauder. And most of my Estee Lauder, with the exception of two things, I have had for a very long time. 2-3 years, possibly 4-5 years, for a long time. And I just, you know, hadn't used so much. You know, you can see I used a lot of that, and just kind of put them aside when I started using other things. I like Estee Lauder for the fact that their eyeshadows to me are not that pigmented, kind of like Elizabeth Arden, but you can build them up. And they don't look chalky or cakey when you start building them up, and they're very easy to blend, and they just make a very beautiful daytime look. And I'm sure they have darker colors that you can get to really do a smoky eye or something to that effect. I'm just not familiar. This is one that I've worn quite a bit. As you can see, one is completely gone. I've hit pan on two other ones. I did enjoy wearing this. I had this on in a couple of videos. This was the Amber Honey, was the eyeshadow quad that this was called. And like I said, I've had this for a very long time. I haven't purchased anything from Estee Lauder at the counter in years. The two purchases that I recently made of Estee Lauder was at the CCO. And that was the Pure Color Shimmering Sands. This was a kind of like, it's a blush or a bronzer. It was beautiful as an eyeshadow. It was very, very pretty. Very pigmented. Has a lot of sheen. I mean, look how pretty that is. It's just beautiful. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is pretty. Very pigmented. So if you find this, if you happen to see this, I would recommend getting that. It's really pretty. And then the other thing that I had from the CCO, and I'm not seeing it. Did I leave it at home? Oh wait, no. Maybe this is it. Oh, yes. And this was the blush, and it was the Peach Nuisance blush, which had that ombre effect in it. Look at that. This is very pretty on. I really like this. And I got this at the CCO. I think I've said that probably, what, 4 or 5 times now? But that was that right there. So if you find that, I would definitely get that. Another thing that I really enjoyed that I pulled back out from Estee Lauder that I had kind of put to the back, and I pulled it back out, and I'm really glad that I did, and that was the Smoothing Cream Concealer by Estee Lauder. Because let me tell you, if you have dry under eyes, this stuff is very, very, very creamy. Definitely. Now, if you have any type of oiliness to your skin, you're not going to like this at all. But if you have some very dry under eyes, this is really nice. This is called Smooth Ivory. I have to make sure I kind of do this a little bit with it, because when I first squeeze it out, the oil comes out. So it is an oil base, because the oil will squeeze out first and then the color. And it's just really creamy and smooth. It doesn't pull, it doesn't tug, and it just blends in just so pretty. And I have really, really been enjoying this concealer, very much so. And then I had a couple of eyeliners and from Estee Lauder, and I'm just not too crazy about these. That's probably why I still have them after so many years. They just seemed a little dry, and they didn't have a whole lot of pigmentation to them. That is the the plum gray. And of course the refrigerator started. But, I mean, and I've used a lot of it, but it's just not one that I just reach for. I mean, that's all that's left of it. It's just not one that I reach for, and I think it's because you had to really, really work it on there to get it to build up, to get any kind of color, and then, you know, when you're pulling and tugging at your eyes that much, it's not good. It's not good for your eyes. And then the other one I had was Rosewood, and that was that right there, that color there. I mean, pretty colors. It's just there just wasn't enough pigmentation, and they were too drying. They were just too dry. They pulled and tugged. So I don't recommend these. Now other people, now if you have oily eyelids, which I have really dry eyelids. Now if you have oily eyelids, these may just glide right on. I didn't have any problems with them coming off once I got them on, but I just didn't really care for them. And so I wouldn't go and purchase any of those. The lipsticks that I had a lot of lipsticks, and most of them were in the Everlasting formulation. I am wearing one of the lipsticks today, and the blush that I have on today, I didn't tell you that, was out of this little quad here, and it's this one here, which is called is it called Nude Rose? So hard to tell. Now it says Nude Rose. It looks more peach to me. It does not look rose. I don't think that's the rose one. I think that one's the Radiant Peach. We're going with the Radiant Peach. That's what I have on as my blush today. It's confusing. Again, this was one of their, probably in like a purchase with purchase type thing that I had. Anyway, back to the lipsticks. I liked the lipsticks. The lipsticks were very moisturizing. There was no pulling, no tagging when you applied them to your lips. I didn't have any chapping. Sometimes I get chapped lips from lipsticks. They didn't, of course, you know, they didn't last all day. I don't think they're meant to, but they had pretty good staying power, 2 or 3 hours possibly, depending on, you know, what kind of lip liner you put on underneath, and if you were eating or drinking, that type thing. But you know, I had several colors. Most of these were in the gift with purchases or the purchase with purchase. I don't think there's any of these that I actually went to the counter and actually purchased. So, but you know, I had a lot of colors that were really pretty. That one's a pretty nude. And, you know, I wasn't, you know, dissatisfied with them, but I didn't like them enough to say, hey, I'm going to go to the Estee Lauder counter and buy, you know, 10 more colors that I don't have. I just didn't feel like the formula is something that I just want to wear every single day. Does that make sense? Am I just rambling? Am I just making stuff up? That's the other one. I mean, they're pretty, they're creamy, they have good color to them, they're not sheer, they go on really smooth. So, I mean, they're a good lipstick. Do they have a smell to them? No, no smell. So, anyway, that's what I've got. I just think I like MAC lipsticks better, I guess. Actually, you know, the ones that I really like the best are the ones that they're in a tube. They look like a lip gloss tube, and one end is the color and the other end is a lip gloss, and they're like an all-day color stay type lipstick. Those are my favorite formulations. Estee Lauder has them, or they used to, because I've gone through several tubes of those. MAC carries them. Love the ones from MAC. And then Makeup Forever, I've tried the ones from Makeup Forever. I like those. I like the ones that Avon used to sell, but they discontinued them. So anyway, so that kind of lets you know what kind of lipsticks I like. I like lipsticks that I can put on and I don't have to worry about that they're on there for 3, 4, or 5 hours before I have to touch up. That's what I like as far as the lipstick. So that's kind of why these type of lipsticks just don't really wow me, because you have to reapply them, they come off, that type thing. It's not that they're a bad lipstick. I'm not trying to knock them. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to knock them. They're just not for me. That's why I have so many and I haven't used any up. Anyway, whew, it's getting hot. That is it for my review. I hoped that helped. So next time you are at your local mall and there's Elizabeth Arden counter, take a little gander and look at the Elizabeth Arden. If you're not already a fan of them, I think you would be pleasantly surprised with the formulation and the quality of their product. The Estee Lauder counter, I'm not for sure as far as what is new, what's not new, but if you can get a hold of the Smoothing Cream Concealer, I would recommend this for sure. If you could find this blush in the Peach Nuisance, the ombre, or if you're at a CCO, I would definitely pick that up. That is so pretty. Really pretty. And then another powder that I have always liked, and I've gone through several of these, and this is the Double Wear. And I have it in shell, which is too light for me. I got this at the CCO. So what I did with this was I put this on underneath my foundation. And that's how I used it. And I do have that on today under my foundation. Okay, that wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed. I am going to be doing a giveaway for Estee Lauder. I have some things, but that is going to be revealed to you in a separate video, a video on its own, because this one has gone on too long and I have a lot of things in that giveaway to show, so I want it to be have its own video. So that will be coming up pretty soon. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. And if you liked, make sure that you subscribe, because you never know when I'm going to be doing giveaways and what kind of videos I'm going to be putting up. I like to do a lot of beauty videos. I do a ton of haul videos. So if you like haul videos, this is definitely the channel for you. Anyway, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.